Hello again, friends. When I sent you the last message in September, we heard from some people that they really appreciated the communication and hearing what was happening. And so we thought that it might be helpful if we did this periodically. Honestly, the point is simply to communicate some things that we normally would be communicating to you on Sunday mornings, but we can't now because our format is so different. For now, we will try to keep you up to date in this way. But always feel free to email us or call the church office if you have feedback or questions, or even maybe just to say hello. That would be lovely. As we see things trending up now in BC and higher numbers of COVID cases, here in the church, we're continuing to work as hard as we can to implement as much as we can. We're trying to include things that we hope will be able to continue, even if things get more restricted in the coming weeks. Our strategy is to try to keep our life together happening in a variety of ways, and our hope is that these things will help us to stay connected with each other and with God in the coming months. My prayer is that these things will still bring life, even if it's not in quite the same way that we're used to. And so with that, here are some things that are happening around the church right now. Most of our ministry teams have actually resumed their regular meetings, and they are making plans for the coming months. The resource management team are doing a wonderful job of carefully caring for our finances. They're also helping us to ensure that any in-person gatherings we hold happen in ways that really minimize the risk of any virus transmission. And of course, as you heard, they're also running our November Fall fundraiser, which is now well underway. The people in our service ministry have been focused on running the weekly community meals lunch in a new takeout form. As you know, we have some new leadership in that ministry, and Claire and Gail seem to me to have stepped rather seamlessly into that role. We're so very grateful for all that they bring, and for all of the volunteers who faithfully show up each week to ensure that 70 people are being welcomed, given a freshly made nutritious lunch and a warm cup of coffee. And speaking of coffee, the fellowship ministry has also begun hosting some coffee gatherings. These are a great opportunity to come together with a few other people, have some good conversation, and maybe meet someone new and just share a little bit of life together. There's also quite a bit of activity coming out of the education team. As you know, Carol Perret and her team have reopened the church library on Tuesday mornings. And if you haven't had a chance to stop in, I really encourage you to do so. We have a wonderful library, and Carol and her team are magnificent at putting just the right book or resource into your hands. Tracy continues to provide online lessons for our kids' church children and families, and our 6-week Zoom study is now underway. Together, we are exploring the hope that we have as Jesus followers and how we can be people of hope in our homes and our community and even in our world. The Ed team is also already looking towards the new year. We're looking for another study topic that we think might really encourage and support us all, and so we'll let you know what we come up with. Well, I've left the busiest team for the last. The worship ministry is working very hard right now and are very excited about some of the projects we have underway. Of course, we continue to produce our online weekly worship services and are delighted at the number of people who are willing to take part in those. I really want to say a big thank you to everyone who comes in to record readings or prayers or liturgical pieces. It's wonderful to see so many familiar faces and to be blessed by you sharing your gifts with us. It also saves you all from having to listen to my voice over and over again from week to week, and that's a very good thing. We also owe a great big thank you to Peter Radislav, who has been working diligently behind the scenes since July, helping us to improve the sound in our recordings so that the services are as smooth as we can make them and you can easily hear. This is a vital process and part of the production process. And we honestly couldn't have done it without Peter's work and the care he has brought to it. So on behalf of the congregation, I really say a hearty thank you to you, Peter. And finally, as we move towards Advent and Christmas, we hope that you will stay in close touch because we have some very special plans. In this year, when Christmas might be particularly difficult, we're preparing some things that we hope might draw you back to the manger and to the wonder of what happened and what God did on that holy night. It was a night when hope came into our world in a new way, and not just for that night, but to stay. And this is a gift that really seems more precious now than ever. So stay tuned for more details about what's coming in Advent and Christmas. As you all know, since Phil's retirement in June, we have been functioning with just one minister. There are a few reasons for this. Because things have shifted for us so dramatically, we will need to revisit the job description that we wrote for an associate minister before the pandemic, and honestly, that's difficult to do right now. We also know that it would be very challenging for a new minister to get started and established when they can't be with you all in person and get to know you. On top of those things, to this point, our finances have not been sufficient for us to take on a second minister's salary, and so we have felt that it was wisest on all courses to just hold off for a while. Having said that, we have not been without help. As you can see, many gifted congregation members have been stepping up, and that's been great for us and for them, I hope. We've also been blessed to have Reverend Foster Freed helping out, and I am particularly grateful for him and for his ministry, and especially for his support of me as I try to figure out how to be a minister in a pandemic. They honestly didn't teach us this at seminary. Having Foster around to help also means that I'm able to free up some time in some weeks to work on some of those extra ministry projects that need some of my time and attention. And finally, the most important thank you goes to you all, our dear St. Stephen's Church family. The work we are doing takes time, and I am so very grateful for your patience with us as we strive to work this all out. Mostly, thank you for your trust. We truly thank God for each of you and for your faithful presence in our congregational life. May God bless you.